7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
International superstar, Miss Butter B. Rocker.
You are now tuned in to Butter B Rocker on Transparency Talks Podcast.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Transparency Talks Podcast. I am excited about today's show. We have a wonderful guest for you, but before I bring on my guest, I want to make sure you guys are elevating your mind. Make sure you do something creative. Make sure you go for walks. Keep your attitude in check. You know, stay on a positive note and everything. Also, make sure that you check out my music video, Strange Love. It is out. Make sure that you check that out. And I just posted about casting for my very first feature film. So make sure that you go onto my pages at Butter B Rocker and make sure that you cast. Make sure that you submit to be a part of my first feature film. So with all of that being said, we have an amazing guest for you today, Jesse Lewis IV. He is from reality series to scripted TV and film. Jesse is committed to putting on dresses while removing stigmatisms, playing comedic LGBT characters that focus on humanizing the LGBT community and bringing a relatable gravity to the Black gay man experience. So with all of that being said, what's up? Period. How you doing?
I'm great. I guess now I'm an optometrist. I'm over here removing the stigmatisms. I gotta change that bio. Every time somebody reads it, they always be like, I'm removing something and it's never stigmas. I guess now I'm removing stigmatism, which is good because you know,
is so funny.
If you're blind, I can hear you like Jesus.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'm super excited to have you on the show. Can you give everybody a little bit of background about yourself?
I'm 40. I'm fine. I'm single. I'm a homeowner. I'm on Instagram if you want to holler at me and pay some mortgage. College educated, so I'm a little ratchet, but I'm a little educated, kind of polished. Anything else?
That is funny.
That's the truth.
Right. Those are all.
The Versace robe for nothing. I think it's Versace. I bought it from a girl in the alley, so she said it was Versace, but I don't know what it really is, but it looked like Versace. Right? Like John Legend. It's the legend of Versace.
Right.
Allegedly Versace.
Allegedly Versace.
Allegedly.
You are silly. So you are an actor, and also you do comedy. You're a comedian too. Your Instagram clips are freaking hilarious. Just to let you know, I be cracking up every time I look at them. How do you come up with your concepts? I know I'm jumping, but really, how do you come up with your concepts?
Trauma. Being a Black gay man, I'm 6'1". I got a Vixen sew-in. I got on mascara, alleged Versace. A lot of people can't take that in the real world. And imagine being 5 years old doing that. It's like everybody hates Chris. Okay. The gay version was me. So looking at life in a way that I can make. Am I talking too loud?
No, you're fine.
I feel like I'm over here like on a high school. I'm like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Congratulations. But so like just literally like trying to figure out who I was. And I know it's gonna sound so like cliche to say it, but like making fun of myself before others did. And and what's crazy was that even now I just turned 40 I turned 40 in March. But I'm 32 online, so don't trip. But like just basically looking at myself and laughing, and then I began to look at myself and laugh, and then the more I looked at myself and laughed, the more I was like, well, hold on, I'm kind of dope. Like I'm kind of a good person. I'm kind of attractive. I'm kind of educated. I got pit bulls walking around too, so I'm kind of a pet owner as well. But with that being said, I looked at the world and started to say like, I'm not really that bad. And so my comedy shifted from like tearing myself down to being like, this is me, take it or leave it. You love it. And Hollywood has responded, moderately. 16 years on television, but nobody knows who the heck I am, so take it or leave it.
Okay. Okay. So when did you actually, start acting? When did you say, hey, this is what I want to do?
In the womb, of course.
Well, outside of the womb, when did you start?
Well, let's just say this. I ain't been in the womb since. How about that?
Oh my goodness. So this is going to be one of those type of interviews. You are going to be hilarious this whole time. Okay. All right.
No,
I'm ready for you.
it's me. And I have anxiety. So when I settle down, I'll be a little more like, hello, how are you? Good evening. But until I get the willies out, I'm going to be, I don't know.
Okay.
But no, yeah, so acting forever, like since I was a kid. My
Okay.
mom had a really funny story. I don't know if y'all want to hear it, but she said the first time I used the bathroom, number 2, dos for those that speak Espanol, she clapped for me. And I've just been SHI apostrophe asterisk on the world ever since. And they keep clapping, so I keep SHI apostrophe.
Gotcha.
Real story, true story.
Did you actually take any training in acting? Did you take lessons?
No, those cost money, girl.
Oh, so you just au natural.
Well, I'm au natural Atlanta now, where it's a little more affordable than LA. For all people out there that know about LA, LA is LA is the epicenter of entertainment. So classes there can start at from like $650 to like $1,000 a month.
Oh wow, yeah, I would have been I would have been self-taught as well.
Yeah, I'm supposed to pay for that and rent.
Right.
And buy fake Versace. So I wasn't able to train until I got to Atlanta. And I've been with some really cool acting coaches here. And I ain't gonna lie to you, my ability and technique has grown tremendously because I didn't know what the heck I was doing. Like I said, like you said earlier, I started on reality television. And for those of y'all that don't know, reality is really personality work. So you're pretty much like playing yourself, right? Which is easy to do if you're not camera shy, which clearly I'm not. However, when it comes to like skilled acting, right? Like, TV film, scripted, which is what they call TV film, and non-scripted is more like reality, documentary, whatever. It's like you gotta remember, you gotta get these lines, you gotta memorize the lines, and then you gotta look natural while you're talking to somebody else that you may not have met before, with the lines in your head memorized and still be believable. That's a lot of skill.
It is.
I'd rather be a trap queen. And it pays better too.
You mentioned reality TV. That's where you started. That's how you got your first start. Can you tell us about your experience on reality TV? What show? All that good stuff.
First, so let me think. So it's always been Viacom. And this is crazy because who knew that Viacom would pay my bills forever? It's like the boyfriend I never had, right? Viacom, I started with MTV back in 2005 or 6. I did a pilot, I think it was with Omarion. It was called My Omarion or something. I did one with Justin Timberlake. And then that didn't go nowhere because who knows who I am? Nobody. But anyway, so we kept going. I did remember Next, the dating show Next? Oh my God, you so young. Anyway, but for those of y'all that are 40 and above, y'all remember Next on the little bus. I did that. And they had to put me on there with a girl. And I was like, okay, I'm an actor, I think, but I can't act that good. Nobody believes I'm dating women, right? Let's just be clear. Come on, Viacom can't even pitch that story. Okay, and they own all the networks. So anyway, Viacom came in forever. I thought my biggest show was on VH1. It's called America's Most Smartest Model. Exec producers Chris Abrego, Mark Cronin, 51 Minds, who did the T.I. Family Show. I think that's the real life. Really known for I Love New York, Flavor Flav, those major reality shows. And so that was what I did. I did a model show for one season. It's not like you're a series regular. You're just kind of like a contestant versus like you're there every episode. And then from there, I started playing like acting roles as a model, which is crazy because I never been sample size. But that's the short story, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you switched to film when you got to Atlanta because you're not from LA. Where are you from?
Chicago originally.
Okay.
But I live in LA as well. My dad's from LA. My mom's from Chicago. So funny story. It's kind of like divorce. Like, you take him. No, you take him. No, you take the sissy. You take the sissy. So every year I would go back and forth with my parents because I would be like, I hate you, mom. I don't like you. And then I'd be like, I'm going to live with my daddy. You know what I mean? So I would go. So I've been in LA like almost all my life. But yeah.
And in LA is where you got your first start.
Oh, absolutely. Well, no. So I did a show for WB. Wow, in '95. Y'all know what that is? That's the year actually. It's before 2000s. It's in the '90s. I did this show. I know because I was so young and everything. It was called My Story, and I was like LeVar Burton. I would host like local youth authors that were published. I would interview them and tell their story. So I was like reading Rainbow. No pun intended.
Okay, so all right. So you started in Chicago, then you moved to LA. You got your first reality, start in LA, and then eventually you transitioned to TV and film. Tell us about that.
Yeah, and it's funny because I actually so because I played these model characters on television, and at that time in the '90s there weren't that many openly Black gay men on television, thank God. So I was able to kind of be seen a little more by casting directors. So I booked the movie Meet the Spartans by Aaron Seltzer, Jason Freeberg, the guys who do scary movies. They bought them from the franchise, all of them. I know what you did last summer, blah blah blah. But not them, but the scary part, the what do you call the spoof movies. And I played Miss J, who was, believe it or not, right, the guy from America's Next Top Model.
Mm-hmm.
A Black, tall, long legs, almost like me, but not as fabulous. So I played him. And he actually was my first character that got me my SAG card and got me in the union in 2007. So I actually did cool for 2 years, and then being able to do, I think like within 9 months of my reality show, I got cast on that movie, which was pretty dope. And I've been trying to make it back on TV ever since. Hello.
Okay. You are. So you just mentioned SAG. Okay.
I did.
So I just got, my invitation for SAG for a project that I have not announced yet that's going to be coming out. It's a surprise.
Okay. In development.
Yes. Yes. But my question is for you, why did you join SAG? Because I'm still kind of on the fence, not on the fence because I know that it's a great, union to be a part of, but when did you decide to join SAG? Because for me, I'm told that because I'm so new in the filming industry, I should probably wait so that I can get more, experience working on different sets and, different things like that. So why did you join? And do you think it's a great idea for someone that's new coming out to join?
Great question. I joined SAG to be guaranteed my paycheck will come on time. A lot of times actors, and like you said, when we're new, and I'm still new, I barely scratched the surface what I got going on. But you work with people that have financing and then they don't. And so a lot of times what SAG will do is a SAG franchise film will allow you to be guaranteed to be paid. A lot of times I work with independent projects, and that's like different. That's different, right? Somebody says, "Hey, yes, Jesse. Hey, Christian, what's up?" Oh, that's my first time seeing somebody pop up. Okay, Christian. So, SAG basically guarantees you get your money. Unfortunately, I've had the privilege of not being paid, and I'm not independently wealthy, and I'm not dating nobody wealthy, and so I need my money. You feel me? And SAG, that never happened with SAG projects. So yes, you do want to build your reel. Yes, you do want to do independent projects and student projects. And yes, you want to do as much as you can so that you can get a decent agent and you can be seen and you can show yourself. But at the same time, you do want to also join SAG because SAG-AFTRA is what protects us actors, because before them, like, we just wasn't getting paid. They was paying us like, I don't know, in like feathers and peanuts and whatever else the theater had back in the day. Charlie Chaplin, God bless his soul.
Got you. So what would you say to a actor that's just getting started? How do you get started?
Don't do it. It's crowded, like Atlanta. Don't do it. Don't follow your dreams. But if they did do it. You said what?
I said, but if they did do it.
They dumb as heck? No, I'm playing. I don't know. Follow your dreams. Like, live your life. Just stay out my face. And good luck. Get a good headshot, and don't ask nobody no questions that you can answer yourself. I hate people like, "Oh, Jesse, I want to get started." I get these emails every day, and whoever sees me that knows this, Don't get mad. You're just material as of right now. And they'll basically be like, oh, I want to know how to get started. I want to do it. I want to get involved. And I'd be like, okay. And they'd be like, I want to start now. And I'm like, okay. And then one of my friends told me, I only want to do network films. I don't want to do independence. And I'm only going to do maybe like major commercials. I'm not going to do. And I'm like, so you already know what you're going to do. I said, well, damn, who's your agent? She's like, well, I don't have one. I said, oh, well, who took your headshot? She said, oh, I ain't got it. I said, well, then you're pretty confident. Like, if you can pick your own career, you should manage me. Which you dumb bud. Which you dumb. I was going to say something else, but I can't cuss. So what I'm saying is do the research. Mm-hmm. Yes, I had started in reality. Yes, it has been 16 years. Yes, I have a lot more to learn, but I did meet people. I have amazing mentors that have taught me so much about contracts and how to, number one, which I didn't learn until later in life. Hollywood entertainment is all about relationships, not sexual, unless you're trying to, working relationships, right? So one thing that you don't know when you get to LA or New York or other like secondary markets like Chicago, Miami, or now Atlanta, is that you have to be able to meet people. And it's a very, it's a tightrope. You got to walk it because you want people to know that sorry, somebody's calling me. You want people to know that you're ready to work, but you don't want to do too much too soon and get burnt out. So read what you can, research what you can, look at headshots, compare prices, read about agencies. There's an app that I love. There's two actually. Casting Networks, LAcasting.com started my career. Amazing owner. They are absolutely amazing. And they helped me get to where I'm at. And then from there, I went to Actors Access, which is now more theatrical. LA Casting is more commercial. They've changed now, but this is like when they first started. So those two websites, LA Casting, or if you're in Chicago, New York, Atlanta, Casting Networks, and also San Francisco, and ActorsAccess.com are amazing places. If you don't have a reel or anything on your resume, any credits, to go and kind of get started. You can submit yourself.
Mm-hmm. That's really good advice.
I didn't blend properly.
Who inspires you as an actor?
My accountant.
Why does your accountant inspire you?
Because without that person, I wouldn't be nobody. Because who can be on TV when they ain't got no money?
Oh my goodness.
I mean, it's done, but it's not done well.
Okay.
Lemonade too. You see my Versace glasses?
Yeah.
Versace. I'm not really extra in real life. I'm just turned on for the camera.
Right. I got you. Do you prefer acting on TV or film? And why?
Oh, do I want to see my face in 50 inches or 50 feet? Wonderful question. I like my films like I like my legs. Up.
I'm scared to ask you to go more in detail. Oh my goodness.
I did. That's all. No comment. No, I'm playing. I like it both. Come on, let's be real. I'm trying to work out here, okay? I'm funny. I do what I do, and I got an engaging personality. You can ask me whatever you want to ask me, but at the same time, I'm trying to work, right? So if I'm on TV or film, that's a good day. So at this point, I don't have the luxury of deciding what I want to do. I mean, yes, I have turned down some roles, believe it or not. But I'm happy to work. Let's be clear.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
What's the first thing you do to research and approach a role when you get a script?
Go on Instagram and post that I booked it, so everybody that didn't book it get mad and kill themselves.
And then what do you do? Oh my gosh.
I mean, nah. I'm more like Marlon Brando. I'll read the script, and if it moves me, I memorize it. If it doesn't, guess what? We're gonna improv the whole scene, and you're gonna love it. Check the gate, fellas. I think we got it in one take. No, researching for me, I also don't have the luxury to research roles. You know why? Because I always play the same thing. And it's so crazy. I'm typecast as flamboyant, black, gay man that wears makeup And I'm like, where do they get that from? Like, y'all don't see me no other kind of way, but like fabulous and you know. What?
Okay. All right. Have you ever had to do different types of accents for specific roles?
Yeah.
What what accent?
Black sissy, ghetto sissy, Chicago black ghetto sissy, and then just recently Atlanta black ghetto sissy.
Okay, show me. And tell me which one it is.
Huh?
Show me, but tell me which one it is in first.
Why don't you throw them out?
And
Let's play a game.
Keep it PG.
Let's play a game.
All right.
You throw them out to me, and I'm on the spot. I'm gonna change character.
Okay. I don't remember the ones you just said. You said,
girl, you do this.
Show me Atlanta. Show me Atlanta.
You have me over here think. I'm trying. If I think through it, I'll start sweating again. I can't think that hard. Okay. So, Atlanta ghetto sissy. I mean, like, girl, now my thing is like for real though. Like, he really got me messed up thinking I'm gonna come over here and tell him something. Like, I told him, look here, boy. Okay, look here, bro. I ain't about to be over here dating you while your girl over there doing what she got. Like, you ain't got to really be all that serious about that. You know, I'm making it work.
Okay.
Yes.
And what was your other choices?
They were all the same. I guess I could do Beverly Hills Gay, which is like, hello, darling, how are you? I'm feeling wonderful today. Yes, I came from Pilates. Now we're going to yoga. That's why I ain't famous yet, because I ain't that good.
That is hilarious. All right. So are you flexible when it comes to
Who sent you? Who sent you?
Are you?
Do you know my friend? Do you know my? You always do that every interview. They always ask me, "Are you flexible?" I'm like, he is in it.
No, I didn't finish the question. Thank you. Oh. Are you flexible enough to work on short notice when someone calls you in for a role?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm not working and you call me to work, I'm like, I don't fly commercial. But what time do we start shooting? I don't fly commercial, girl. Come on now. I'm 40 years old. I ain't got time for that.
I got you. All right. So on a serious note, what are some difficulties of the acting business?
Self-esteem.
Why?
I struggle with it a lot. Even now I have social anxiety. People don't believe it because I overcompensate, clearly. But just believing that you're worth it. The constant rejection. People talk about it, but you don't know what it's like until you get 1,000 no's just to get a yes. And then 1,000 more no's just to get a yes or a maybe. In Hollywood, it's called a pin, which means I've been up for series regular roles where I'm starring on the show, right? It's called, we pinned you, like to the wall with your picture. And then I don't book it. And then I'll be like, and then I see who books it, and I'm like, oh, I see why they booked it, but you know. So the thing is, sorry, my hair is falling, and I want to be serious, but my hair gotta be cute. I'm serious. It's a lot of rejection, so you have to push. You have to literally like push yourself, take the no's as a grain of salt, but still believe you're the hottest thing since sliced bread. Every time you walk in a room, every time you send a self tape. Every time you have a call back, you gotta be like, I know I'm that one. And when they say you're not, you're like, okay, I'm not that one, but I'm still the one. So you kind of gotta have an alter ego, like, because people be like, Jesse, you booked that job? I'm like, don't ask me if I book nothing until you see me on TV. That'll tell you if I booked it or not. So my whole point is self-esteem is major. So self-esteem, and then that goes into positive self-image. Body consciousness. I struggle with my weight. Like, I never had a six-pack. Hey, Steven, I thank you, sir. I struggle never having a six-pack, right? I never had a model body. I played models on TV, and they were like, I never forget one dude told me, crazy, casting. He was like, yo, like, take off your shirt. And I'm like, okay. And he said to me, legit, like, I thought with your face, you'd have a much better body.
Oh.
And then I said to him, I thought with your mama, you have a much better daddy. Period. Who the hell you think you're talking to, bro? Okay. But what I'm saying is people say crazy things to you, and you
Right.
gotta be like, okay, so am I hard or not? So what I'm saying is like, you gotta, what do you say? Very true. The industry is hard. You got a million. Who supposed to read this? Me or you?
I mean, you can read them or I can read them.
Yes, but that's one yes is meant for you. Make the most of it. And that, and Christian, you better tell them. You better make that one yes mean something, because it might be the only one we ever get. It ain't no guarantee you're gonna have more yes. You feel me? What's up, Jazz? So like, it's hard, and like I struggle. And I don't know if I want to say this on camera because people be like, Jesse, I didn't. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead because, but I didn't know I was attractive until like 5 years ago. Imagine all the good I could have got in college if I hadn't. Baby, I went to Alabama A&M. I could have got me some country boys. But no, I didn't know I was attractive because when you get on, and then in Hollywood, everybody's attractive. Everybody famous. Everybody's body's hot. Everybody rich. Everybody everything, And so when you come there not knowing who you are, not being confident with my sexuality, not being able to recognize that when I walk in the room, I have a certain type of energy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that instead of trying to bottle that energy and kill that energy and stifle that energy, let it be what it was, I was worried about people thinking I was gay. And clearly they knew before I did, okay? I was worried about people thinking, is he gonna be my friend? Are they gonna like me if I'm doing too much? And I mean, so I'm gonna say this: self-esteem is the biggest thing, because once you have self-esteem issues, it goes into substance abuse issues. It goes into everything. Financial, you start spending money you don't have to try to keep up with other people. Like, you gotta love yourself and know who you are and trust that you're in the right industry.
Yeah. Honestly, that's really good advice. Can you describe your most challenging role to date?
Every role is a challenge for me, because every role is very similar to the last role. Mm-hmm. The thing about that is, how do you make each role distinctive when they're so similar? I mean, how many times can I break my neck and pop my finger and you laugh at it, right? No, seriously. Mm-hmm. So every role for me is like, what can I do different? And then I started to get older. And then, of course, you have all this new social movement that's been going on the undercurrent, but now it's bubbling over right into mainstream media and yada, yada, yada. And then even before that, I started thinking about, like, how am I portraying myself on TV? Like, little, not even black boys, but little whoever's, right, people coming on. Little whoever's that watch me and like, oh, I want to be like him. Or I don't know what I want to be, and maybe this person represents that. Like, how does what I play on TV affect other people? How does it change their life? And so I started to become a little more conscious about, oh, maybe I shouldn't be naked. Or maybe this gay character should have a last name. And can this gay character have a job? And I'm the only black person on this actual production, but all my scenes are sex scenes. Can we work on that a little bit with character development? And sometimes they be like, yeah. And sometimes they be like, why don't you write your own show? But they were very true. So I try to take ownership in every role that I do and let people know that every gay, every straight, because I hate to come with the whole flags, what are you, identity politics, I don't do all that. But every character comes from somewhere, it has a story. So I try to tell the story in a way that's funny, but also relatable. So they always challenge.
Okay. We had the pleasure of meeting on set on Can't Get Right. And one of the things, this is leading to my next question. How do you rehearse a scene with others to interact, for the scene? And then we're going to tell that funny story about me and yours situation.
Different strokes for different folks. No pun intended. For one thing, once it goes back to self-confidence. It goes back to, first off, being prepared for the role. So knowing your lines, right? And I'm talking to me. This is me talking to me. So I know my lines for the most part. Understanding the beats and the pauses and the movement of the scene, right? Understanding like what the character's motivation is. And so, and then being open after you do all this back work, right? Or pre-work, whatever people want to call it. And then being open to engage with somebody else, right? Tom Scott is an acting coach in Atlanta, Tom Scott with the Actors Gym. And he taught me to listen, be affected, and respond, right? So like right now, I'm listening to you. Clearly, I'm being affected, right? And then I respond transparently, organically. So same way with acting, you're just being a human being,
right?
And people, you know. And so everybody rehearses different. Some people don't want to rehearse at all before the scene. I've had people say things like, "Oh, I don't really want to read it with you right now. I want to be raw on camera." Okay, no problem. Some folks want to do it 100,000 times, like Anthony Hopkins. Do the script 100 times. That's what he does. So everybody wants you to know it just like him, right? So what I'm saying is everybody rehearses differently. I think the thing is like a job. It's like being a temp. You just go to work and you just figure out the system and you just kind of plug yourself in and then you make it work.
Right, right. So funny story about me and you. So Jesse was like, well, hey, let's rehearse together. I'm like, okay, cool. Yeah, I got somebody to read with. We both in these scenes. So Jesse gets on the call. We get on this call and we're going over Jesse's lines.
I forgot this story.
Right. Then we started to go over my lines, but Jesse doesn't have my pages. He only has his pages. So we couldn't go over my lines. And it was hilarious when we found this out. So I'm a comedian too. That was kind of funny. I was laughing at you the whole time. You was like, yeah, I don't have that. I don't have, what page is that? I'm like, Jesse, it's page 59. Yeah, no, I only have my pages. I was like, okay. All right, you got me.
Hilarious.
Sharing. So where do you see your career in the next 5 years as an actor?
Hopefully still having one.
That's real.
I keep saying, hey, like every day I'm on the job, every day somebody calls me. When you call me, when producers call me, directors call me, casting calls me, and I book something, I'm excited because there's no guarantee. Nobody says Jesse has to work. No matter how cute I think I am, or smart, or funny, or quick, or better than the next person I can put a wig on and, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? Mm-hmm. There's no guarantee that I have to do it.
Yeah.
It has to be me. It's an inexact science. So I'm excited whenever I can work because that means that I'm still working.
Yeah, I feel you.
But of course, the public demands it. So what can they do when the public wants me so bad? Can't see my cleavage.
I see it.
Yeah.
It's looking fabulous. I see it. How do you manage your personal life and your professional life?
What personal life? I ain't got no man.
Oh, okay. So you just straight working. That's it.
Mm-hmm. So, I have a real job. I laugh when I say that, but it's the truth. I used to be embarrassed. I went to college. I have an undergraduate degree in English composition with a minor in telecommunications. But yes, the sissy went to school. Okay. And he graduated. Okay. The best part was going across the stage in that little dress. I guess they called it a cap and gown. I called it a dress. Anyway, I have a degree. I was pre-law in undergrad, so I wanted to be a lawyer. And then I decided not to be a lawyer. Mm-hmm. And so with that being said, I've always worked a professional job, 40 plus hours a week, the entire time that I've actually acted. Because not the entire time, I'm lying, because I was broke for the first 5. So no, after about 5 years, and I was like, I gotta get me a job. So what I'm saying is, I balance both of those. So I have a full-time job and a full-time career. That makes sense. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm tired right now. This is a pre-workout. You think I'm playing?
No, I don't.
I got to be time.
I don't think you're playing. So you had the pleasure of being on Tyler Perry's Sister, and I want to play this real quick.
Oh, I get to watch I've never been on an interview where I've watched. This feels like I'm on Letterman or somebody. Okay, girl, let me look cute.
All right, here we go.
What are you doing here? I want to take you to lunch and beg for your forgiveness. For what? My boyfriend was at home. So I brought him to your place last night. You have that spare bedroom. You know you keep your key on top of the door frame and that pink feather boa.
I keep telling y'all, I'm not gay.
That was you last night?
I'm clapping for Tyler Perry.
How was it being on set and working with Mr. Tyler Perry?
It's funny because nobody okay, so I've never worked with Tyler Perry before, right? This is my first time meeting him, being cast by him, and Raven Drummer, his casting director, and then Mark, his exec producer, right? First time. So let's just say he paid me the most I ever paid my whole life. Okay. Scale, right? And took care of me and then added me onto a second episode and just did so much. I mean, even that promo right there, is just, he could have picked anybody in the world, right? To put on a 27-second spot on Instagram. And he picked my scene.
Right.
And the experience from the moment I auditioned to the moment I was on set, working in the bubble, because I worked during the bubble, right? During the pandemic. That was shot, I think, in July. And then coming out of that, being excited, waiting for it to air, watching it air, and then watching the promo come out as well for Instagram on BET. It's still surreal. I've never had a moment like that where like people have it's like a, we see you, we like you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We like what you did.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So every time I watch that clip, it's like a, all right, so somebody thinks I'm good. And it's crazy because you would think that people are like, oh well, Jesse, you know you kind of funny, you know you entertaining. But sometimes you need that extra because we're all human beings.
Absolutely.
So when I watch that clip, I always get a little, get a little emotional. You feel me? Like I still want to cry, I'm a man, but I want to. You feel me? Ha, that part.
How do you grow your personal brand, and do you use a lot of social media to do it?
If anybody out there is in social media, help a brother out. Help a cisgender male. Is that what I'm called? I don't even know what I'm called. Help me out. I don't know what the heck I'm doing on social media. I don't know what I'm doing on social media. I can't even get verified. I don't know what I'm doing. I am confused. I take photographs in foreign countries, and I still don't know why I'm not verified. So if anybody can help me, I'm just being real. I have no clue what to do on social media. First I was scared what to post and how to post it, and then I became like really like just not. I don't know what to do. So building my brand on television on social media has been very hard for me.
I don't see that because when I go to your page, you have so many people tuned in. I think you're being very modest because you have so many people that tune in to see what you're going to say next. Because your clips that you do, especially the ones when you're in your car and you're having your conversations and everything, are hilarious. So you're doing something right because you always have a lot of likes and people in tuned on your page.
Girl, it's so relative. I have friends who are influencers, and you do as well, right? And millions of likes, millions of followers, reshares, reposts, and I don't often know. I don't know what to do. I'm scared of posting content, huh?
You just do. You just come up whatever concept you want to come up with. You just do it.
Yeah, and I'm hoping that one day I can monetize it. But right now, it's only on television and film. That maybe the casting of the Watch My Business, like, yo, book Jesse, he's funny. But as far as Instagram and social media goes, and TikTok and what Facebook and stuff, just for the people that watch.
How does it feel working with other stars?
Like looking in the mirror.
Yeah, I feel that. I feel that. No, I feel that though. I feel that. I see everybody as the same.
Working with people is working with people.
Yeah.
Have I met people that were not the nicest, were not as excited to work with me as I was to work with them, that I looked up to, that I couldn't wait to work with? Yes. Have I worked with people that I knew who were famous, who took me under their wing and shared a lot of life skills, professional skills, overall skills with me? Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, people are people. And some people have bad days and they have good days. And they got bad weeks and they have good years. So I try to give everybody the space that this is a job and that we're not best friends and that we may make love in a scene. Don't mean you got to call me for brunch on Sunday. Just doesn't mean that. It's a job. So don't take it personal. And that's what I think I've learned to do, and I'm still learning to do, is to not take things personal. All I can control is what I can control, which is how bomb I am on television and film. And that's all I'm worried about.
Okay.
Period. In that order.
In that order. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
But be nice. Oh, but this also. But be nice to people. Don't be acting like no bullhead. Don't be acting crazy. Unless you're gonna be funny crazy. Don't be mean to people just because you're famous. Because that's not hot. Because one day when you're not famous, you ain't gonna have no friends. We ain't got no friends now, but I mean, you ain't gonna have no real friends.
you know, one thing that I did notice on sets, I mean, it's kind of the same thing, you know, for the music industry, because that's the world that I have been in forever.
You famous, baby. You tour. You sell out shows. You was in the Dominican Republic with the Light Show and the Pyrotechnic. You wrote for who? Kanye. You wrote for. Let me think. Was it Pharrell? No. Neptunes.
No.
I know it was Kanye.
I sung with Kanye.
Sung with, girl, you more famous than I am. What you talking about?
But one of the things that I noticed on set is you never know who is looking at you. So even when you're not on, you need to be on, because that you know, the lighting, or anybody on set could be working on other projects that they could possibly see and think of you to put you on. But if you have a bad attitude, or you coming in there all extra diva-ish, they're not going to want to work with you. And, you know, the industry is super small, so it spreads. You know what I mean? That's one of the things that I noticed.
You're right. It's funny. You said something that kind of pinged me. I always call like it's a pinch. And so I listen, I'm going to be affected and respond. Is when you said be on. And I try to, because I'm a very big personality on when I'm working.
Right.
And when I'm in real life, like, you know, I really ain't, I'm like sweats. I'm like, you know, killing copperheads in Georgia, which is something I didn't know I had to do, but apparently I do, because I ain't got no man now. But we're going to manifest that, right, for the future. But anyway, I'm not that big in real life. I mean, I am, but I'm not, right? So people be thinking like, yo, what he said, the camera loves you. You're very handsome. Oh, thank you, Shelly. You got any brothers? Tell them to holler at me. Tell them to holler at me. Please tell them to holler at me. I read all my DMs. Please. I read every DM and I respond within 30 seconds. I'll respond right now while I'm on this live, on this podcast.
That is so funny.
No, but I forget the question that fast. Lord Jesus.
We was talking about being on stage. I mean, making sure that you're on.
So yeah, so being on. So when you say on, what I mean by on, what on is to me is being a good person. And you ain't gotta be everybody in everybody's face. You ain't gotta be, you know, kissing babies and shaking hands like Obama. Just be a good person to people, because they're people. Be good to lighting. Be good to all the crew. Be good to wardrobe, right? Don't just be good to the director and the exec producers and above the line, right? Be good to everybody. You know, and if you're having a bad day, remove yourself. Like I do. I smoke cigarettes. I smoke cigars, right? So I'll go outside. You know, I went outside all the time. If I'm having a mood disorder situation, because hey, we all got them days, I go step away. Like I'm at a regular job. Get myself together, and I come back to work, because we're still working. So when I say be on, just be on in the sense of being cool. You ain't gotta be everybody's best friend. You ain't gotta take numbers. You ain't gotta take photographs. You ain't gotta be like add me on Instagram. Nah, just be a cool person. You know, be authentic. And then when the job is over, nice to meet y'all. Moving on. So, some people think that being on means, you know, kissing ass, and it doesn't. It just means being a good person.
I agree.
To me, that's what
I agree. I agree.
I mean, I'm nervous. I know a little something.
So we are going to wrap up the show. I want to thank you so much for being a part of the show. Can you tell people how they can reach you, how they can book you, and everything else? Absolutely.
On Tinder and Match.com. My profile is super, super lonely but sexy. I'm playing. I'm kidding. Instagram is Juicebox Jesse. Juicebox. It's been a long time. It's still there. It still works. Jesse. Social media. I don't know, Instagram, TikTok, all the same. If you Google me, you'll see. Google Jesse Lewis the Fourth, like IB. You know, like Meghan Markle, but me, Jesse Lewis the Fourth. It's like Roman numeral. I'm royalty. And then if you want to book me, like holler at my agents. I got a couple agents in different markets. I got a manager. No, we parted ways. I got a couple agents in LA, and I got one in Atlanta, and I got one in London. So if you got some projects and you got some funding, call me. Just like if we date, you got the money, call me. If you got a movie, you got some money, call me. If you ain't got no money, don't.
You know what? That's the best way to end this show. Don't. That is so funny. You are silly.
Don't do it. And don't do me. Don't do me. Do your hair.
That is funny. Well, Jesse, I want to thank you so much for being a part of the show. To all of my people out there on Facebook, on YouTube, on all of the other platforms that we are on, thank you so much. And to all of my people over in Africa and London and Italy that are tuning in, we appreciate you guys. So that being said, we are out of here. Talk to you guys later.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Thanks for watching. Hope I wasn't doing too much.
No, you was good.